Good morning, dear hearts. We are at lesson 254. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Before we get started, a couple of announcements. One, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Second of all, remember that we are to read the special section and special thought prior to doing our lesson every single day, and that is what is sin. Then our practicing is in the morning and the evening, and of course, every hour to please just pause for a moment and remember today's lesson. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Again, I'm going to go back to lesson 49, way back at the beginning of this year. It seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? And that lesson was God's voice speaks to me all through the day. And today, let every voice but God's be still in me. It is possible to hear God's voice speak to us all through the day. And the reason that is completely possible is because there is still and always will be a part of our mind that has not separated from God and is still in constant communication. And so that part of our mind is listening to God's voice. And it seems to be saying today, I don't want to hear any other voice. Just let me hear God's voice today. And it's very interesting, again, how certain lessons fall out on certain days. Today on the year of calendars, it is September 11th. And that was 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, that was a day when God's voice was not heard by many because there was a loud, fearful voice that boomed out and took so many people's attention away from truth. It was a big voice, loud boom of fear that was heard around this world. And I say this world because we are having that experience and had that experience of the world on that day. But today we're going to move away from that, even though it's an anniversary of fear. That's what it is. But it's also a remembrance of those who were loved and who chose, that's the hard part, to make September 11th, 2001 their last day because they were complete and they did all of this for us. It's very much like the crucifixion, which in the Course is called the last useless journey. None of us have to go through what happened 20 years ago. Instead, we can let every voice but God's be still in us and only listen to what is true, what is loving, what is eternal, and what is how and we are meant to hear the voice for God so that we will extend peace and we will extend love to everyone without exception and without hesitation. Today's lesson starts, Father, today I would but hear your voice. In deepest silence I would come to you to hear your voice and to receive your word. I have no prayer but this. I come to you to ask you for the truth, and truth is but your will, which I would share with you today. So I gave this example last year, and this is, we're coming to God, we're asking, please let me only hear the voice for truth today. And however that sounds, it will sound like your own voice speaking to you, but it will be a message of calm and peace. But last year I gave the example, and I think it works very well, of even though we want to only hear God's voice, very often that ego voice we know speaks first and speaks loudest. So I likened it to if you were at a party or a restaurant with a group of friends and it's very loud because people are having a good time and voices are loud, but somehow you catch a little glimpse of something being said at the other end of the table or across the room, and you stop because you recognize in that sound, you may not even understand the words, but in that sound you recognize something that you want to go towards. That is the voice for God speaking to us. We must quiet all of those louder voices around us so we can go forward to hear only God's voice, and let every other voice be still in me today. I have no need of ego thoughts and loud voices and commands and shouts and fear thoughts. Let all of that be still in me today, that I may be quiet and listen only for the voice for God today. Every day too, actually. Again, that's it for today. Please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment. I always answer the comments, so just in case you're wondering. And please be here tomorrow, okay? Namaste.